Mark in San Francisco, you're on the air with Senator Sanders.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I wanted to ask Bernie, what would the steps he would take to address income inequality? What platform would he have? Let's say he was running for president. What platform would you put out there for the American people to see on how you would address this problem?
Very good question, Mark. And I haven't. Let me just talk a little bit off the top of my head, but it is something actually, I'm working on. Number one, we have to make it very clear that morally and economically, the status quo is unacceptable and has to be dealt with. When you have the top 1% owning 38% of the wealth of America and the bottom 60% owning 2.3%, that just doesn't work. And when you have one family, the Walton family, owning more wealth than the bottom 40%, that doesn't work. So what you need for a start is a fair and progressive tax system. That's number one. Right now we're losing somewhere around $100 billion every year because companies are stashing the money in the Cayman Islands and Bermuda and other tax havens. That has got to end. So we need to raise revenue in a progressive way. That means higher tax rates for upper income people. It means ending all of these corporate loopholes. It means dealing with this estate tax, which has been riddled with loopholes benefiting the very, very wealthiest of the wealthy. If you are a billionaire and you want to leave, you pass away, your family will pay a tax on that. So I think real tax reform is one area that we have to focus on. Number two, we need a massive jobs program to deal with the very high unemployment rate that we have, especially among young people. The areas that I would focus on are infrastructure, roads, bridges, water systems, wastewater plants, rail system, airports, and so forth and so on. Furthermore, dealing with the last question that Candace asked, in terms of global warming, what we can do right now is make a huge transition from fossil fuels to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. That will require a significant investment. But when you make that investment, not only do you clean up the planet, have America lead the world in helping to transform the world's energy system, but you're going to create a whole lot of jobs doing that. In my state of Vermont, when we invest in energy efficiency and we weatherize a home, people's fuel bills can go down 40, 50, 60%. They're saving money. We're not producing greenhouse gas emissions. We are creating jobs. I would do that on a massive scale. We are wasting huge amounts of energy. People are paying a lot more for fuel than they should. I think we have to be thinking hard about moving toward a much more efficient energy efficient transportation system. We create jobs doing that. I think in terms of education, I can remember 30, 40 years ago, there were great universities out there, University of California, City College in New York, City University in New York, state colleges in Vermont and elsewhere that were virtually tuition-free, and we've receded very significantly from that. So I think we have to rethink the mission of college, but we have to once again make it affordable if we're going to compete in the global economy. I would invest very heavily in preschool education. The idea that working families right now, certainly in Vermont and all over this country, finding it almost impossible to find affordable quality early childhood education for their kids is a disaster. I would invest in that as well. So, off the top of my head, those are some of the areas that I would focus on.